Hello, fourth grade students at Alva. This is Miss Smith. I am here to talk to you about Alabama history today. In the OLS, which are your computer lessons, they talk about how Alabama was founded, but they don't give us lots of specific details about the state of Alabama. So I want to tell you some interesting facts today. Now, I want you to think about before there were cities, before there was your street, before people lived here, who lived here before us? Okay, most of you know it was probably the Native Americans. They lived here for thousands of years before the Europeans or the Caucasian white Europeans ever came. Spain was the first country to send explorers over. They were called Spanish conquistadors because they conquered a lot of the areas in America that they came to. Pineda, kind of like Pinata, was the first person the king of Spain sent over. They thought there was lots of gold and all these riches in the New World, so they sent him to find gold and bring it back to Spain. Of course, he did not find any gold, but he did write about the forest here and all the different beautiful things that he saw. Now, I want you to think about, have you ever been to De Soto Caverns? I have been several times on my own, and I've been on field trips with students. It is a very fun place. Did y'all know that it was discovered by a famous Spanish conquistador? He was technically not the first person to discover it. The Native Americans discovered it thousands of years ago and actually lived in the caves. But he was the first person to write about it. And he discovered it about 600 years ago, which is a long time ago. He discovered it, thought it was beautiful, and he wrote about it in his journals. And the Native Americans actually hosted him, we think, for what history can record and find, they think for about 5 weeks he spent there. He also traveled along the Mississippi River into the state of Mississippi and some other states. Okay, two other popular explorers or well-known explorers from Spain are Ponce de Leon. And the funny story about him is the king of Spain and the people of Spain thought there was actually a fountain of youth. If you drank from that fountain, you would be young forever and never grow up. Wouldn't that be cool? And so they sent him in search of the fountain of youth. Of course, he did not find it because it doesn't exist. And then Vasco del Balboa, that's a mouthful, he actually was the first person to see the Pacific Ocean. So I want you to think about California, the waves and the surfers. He was the first person to see that ocean. Okay, and the next people to settle in Alabama were the French. Now, if you live anywhere near Mobile, probably there were Native Americans in your area, and then after that, the first Europeans were French people. They actually built a fort near Mobile in the mouth of not Mississippi, the mouth of the Alabama River, where it goes out into the ocean in the Mobile Bay. They built something called Fort Lewis. It actually was flooded, and then they rebuilt even closer to Mobile. Many more French people came. There are French people living in Canada and in France, and they came to farm here. Also, if you celebrate Mardi Gras, that is a French tradition. So there are different things about our lifestyles that were affected because of who settled our area. So I want you to think about, there were people speaking French in Alabama hundreds of years ago. That's pretty crazy. Here is another fort that was built by the explorers, and it is still in Mobile today, and you can go explore it. It's pretty cool. There are parts of it left, of course, not all of it. French explorers came to the New World they traded guns, beads, cloth. They traded a lot with the Native Americans. The Native Americans had fur and deer skins, and so those were some of the things they traded. A lot of the explorers came here for money. And gold and riches, fountain of youth. They thought all these amazing things were going to be in America. And of course, America was great. And they found other things. They found great forest. They were able to trade with the Native Americans and other Europeans that were living here. So those are just a couple of interesting facts. And here are two more explorers from France. I only have a couple of minutes to share with you today, but I hope you found these facts interesting, and I hope that you do some more research on the first Europeans who came to Alabama, because it's interesting to learn about our history. And I hope that you get to visit some of these places. I have not got to visit the forts in Mobile, so that's something I want to do. But I hope you have a great day, and if you have any questions, just let me know. Bye-bye.